were born with. This is
Many remember Winx Club as being a popular animated show on Nickelodeon in 2004. It was fun, dazzling, full of charm and color. It also revolved around a group of teen fairies with unique abilities. And over the years, the main show went through different looks and even revivals. But in 2021, Netflix rebooted the show and created Fate, the Winx Club. And we bet you really want to see 6 behind-the-scenes facts of Winx, so let's get started. Number 6. Filming location. Most of Fate the Winx Saga was filmed in Wicklow, which is on the east coast of Ireland in 2019. Filming lasted for 3 months, and other locations included Kilruddery House and Ardmore Studios in Bray. The huge mansion acted as the college in the series. Alfea boarding school dates back to the 17th century. It is the 800-acre Kilruddery House and Gardens, a large country house which is situated just south of Dublin. While the property is currently closed because of the COVID restrictions, it's actually available to book for private weddings and functions. Some indoor scenes were also shot at Ashford Studios, which is also the location of the historical drama series Vikings. Number 5. Casting backlash. The stars in Netflix's popular new series, Fate the Winx Saga, have responded to the backlash the show has received over its casting. The original animated series introduced us to Bloom, Stella, Flora, Musa, Tecna, and Aisha, fairies who attended a magical boarding school. In the series, Flora is depicted as Latina, Aisha is Black, and Musa is East Asian. When the trailer for the live-action series first came out, fans were extremely disappointed to learn that Flora had been cut from the show. She had been replaced by a character named Tara, her cousin, who was played by Elliot Salt. Alicia Applebaum was cast as Musa. Both of these actors appear to be white, and that was the moment when accusations of whitewashing followed immediately. And while Netflix has not directly addressed the whitewashing claims, the cast has. Applebaum said, "It's really sad to see that fans were upset with the casting. I was not involved in the casting, but I hope that what they've seen and how I've portrayed Musa was to their liking." Salt, who plays Tara, said she hopes to see Flora in the second season of the show. "I think it's really important that we do see Tara and Flora together, and if we're lucky enough to get a season 2, that's my greatest hope. I think the conversations that have happened around that have been really important, and I'm glad that they happened," she told the publication. Precious Mustafa, who stars as Aisha, praised the show for its diversity, but acknowledged that there could be more. "I've always been someone who always looked out for people who look like me on screen. That is few and far between. The industry is getting to a point where we are starting to see more diversity on screen, but it's obviously not enough, and there is still more work to be done. It's really nice to be on a show where there is a lot of diversity. There could be more, and hopefully if we get a season 2, there will be a lot of that," she said. Echoing Salt, Mustafa agreed that it's important that the live-action series spark conversations about representation on screen and hoped that it would continue. "It's nice because I know my younger self would feel really happy, and I'd feel seen if I saw someone who looked like me on screen. So I think it's incredibly important those conversations are being had, and we should keep them going," Mustafa added. Number 4. That's fake, isn't it? In Winx Club, there was a wide range of different fairy abilities. Each fairy wielded powers unique to themselves, determined by their own distinct personality and history. Musa was the fairy of music, for instance, Aisha was the fairy of waves, Tecna was the fairy of technology, and Flora was the fairy of nature. Fate the Winx Saga changes that formula by introducing 6 core elements that every fairy's magic connects to: fire, water, earth, air, light, and mind. Aisha's waves magic simply becomes water magic. Musa is a mind fairy, and so on. However, even though 2 fairies may wield the same element in Fate, that doesn't necessarily mean they have the same inherent abilities. Each element can manifest in different ways. The fire fairies largely fall in line with the powers that you would expect, creating and throwing fire, controlling the spread of fire, and other such firebender type abilities. Some of Bloom's more impressive displays of strength are likely caused by her connection to the dragon flame, of course, and therefore wouldn't be accessible by most normal fire fairies. But everything is just a special effect on the green screen, unfortunately. Aisha is the primary water fairy of Fate, and like Bloom's fire powers, her abilities mostly consist of psychokinetic control over water. Water fairies can pull from lakes, rivers, ponds, or even small amounts of water, holding the water in place, moving it through the air, or using it as a weapon to throw at opponents. That's all about the green screen as well. Magic gets a little more complicated with earth fairies, mostly because they're the primary example in Fate, the Winx Saga Season 1, of an element that it manifests differently in different characters. Terra and her brother and father are all earth fairies, but they each wield very different abilities. Terra has control over plants and can encourage them to grow or bend to her will. Her father Ben can alter the state of solid earth, as seen when he turns the ground between Beatrix's feet to quicksand in order to capture her. Terra's brother Sam can phase directly through walls, presumably because he can briefly manipulate the essence of the earth within them. And the secret behind it? Well, of course, the green screen. What about air magic? The primary air fairy shown is the duplicitous Beatrix, whose main ability has to do with electricity. Lightning being a part of an air element makes sense, as static is an effect of electrical charge imbalance in the air. Dowling also says that air fairies have control over speed, temperature, and sound, though those have yet to be seen in any proper way as of yet, but as usual, it's a green screen. I wish I could tell you that swords were real. I wanted one so badly. When John R. Swordsmith came to give me my sword, I felt so excited. The little kid who used to watch Aragorn from Lord of the Rings was about to be given his first sword, only to pick it up and find out it was plastic. My first response was, "Where's the real one?" says Danny Griffin. Number 3, magical friendship. One of the biggest components of the show, besides magic, has to be the bond of the Winx Sweet Girls forged by the end of Season 1. From how the actors, Abigail Cowen, Precious Mustafa, Hannah Vander Westhuizen, Alicia Applebaum, and Elliot Salt interact on screen, it is no wonder that their friendship continues once the cameras stop rolling. The cast, including those outside of the core group of 5, can be seen doing everything together, from partying and behind-the-scenes shenanigans to late-night hangouts and ridiculous dance sessions. Even Beatrix, Ryven, and Dane get in on the fun. Number 2, eyebrow problem. Abigail Cowen was actually bullied relentlessly for having red hair. Wait, what? Is having red hair somehow like a criminal now? She even withdrew from school because of it. I definitely was very teased throughout childhood. I actually ended up being homeschooled in my 8th grade year because of it, she revealed. She said it was difficult growing up in Florida as a redhead because you are in the sun all the time, hoping to get a tan, but all you ever get is freckles. Alright, well, what about eyebrows? Well, it's almost impossible not to have a big problem with a cast look during production, right? That's the case of Abigail. Okay, something went wrong and she thinks that she looks like Mr. Bean. Isn't that funny? Her little tricks at tinting eyebrows didn't work this time, but what made it worse is that it was on set. Ruining makeup when you're at home, that's not a big thing, right? But it's another thing when it's happening on set. And we're so sorry, Abigail. Number 1, Season 2 predictions. Congrats, people! Netflix has confirmed the news that the show will be getting a second season, which is huge. Without giving too much away, the first season of Fate ended just as Bloom, at the Fire Fairy core of the series, discovered the extent of her incredible powers in real time while battling an army of evil creatures. Well, you know, classic teen girl stuff. So, a second season would likely to see Bloom learning more about how to control and properly wield those powers, while also delving even deeper into the rest of her fairy friends' own journeys of magical self-discovery, since they all need to be at the top of their game in order to defeat the forces of evil still hard at work, at Alfea and throughout the rest of the Otherworld. Abigail Cowen, who plays Bloom, suggested as much in a recent interview about the first season's finale. That's just kind of a little teaser into what her powers are going to be. And hopefully for the second season, if we get a second season, I think that's just the beginning of them. I think that's why we waited until the very end to tease and show the audience, like, get ready, this is about to get very intense, Cohen said. She added, I think that was empowering for Bloom, and I'm excited to see again if we get a second season, where she goes with that, and what she does for her and her self-esteem and her overall sense of self. Are you waiting for the show's second season? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video from us. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.